Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 24. In the matter of answers by citing the Lord's worship. Sṛjāmi tapasā eva idam sṛjāmi tapasaivedaṁ grasāmi tapasā punaḥ grasāmi tapasā punaḥ bibharmi tapasā viśvaṁ bibharmi tapasā viśvaṁ vīryaṁ me duścaraṁ tapaḥ vīryaṁ me duścaraṁ tapaḥ sṛjāmi. I create. Tapasā, by the same energy of penance. Eva, certainly. Idam, this. Grasāmi tapasā, I to withdraw. Also by the same energy. Punaḥ, again. Bibharmi, do maintain. Tapasā, by penance. viśvaṁ, the cosmos. vīryaṁ, potency. Me, my. duścaraṁ, sever. Is it sever or severe? Tapasā, penance. Translation purport by Divine H.G Jai Chaitanya Dasa, Srila Purport. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it also by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is penance only. Purport. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity, name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penance. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. Why? Then, are there severe types of penances for the perfection of devotional service? An easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, He wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord, either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master. And to execute that order, however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. Translation and repetition. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy. And I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is penance only. Om Jnāna-Vijnāna-Dasya Jnāna-Jana-Srakaya Chaturumidamina Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna-Krishnaya Putre Srimate Amiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschada Sheshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Manishtam Savitam Dina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudhapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamya Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagararuganatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Kanakaita Shri Vishakamitam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Ugamuroti Vacharam Bangam Langayate Gimat Kripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Tamaham Mande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Jaram Prabhupada Padita Pavanam. So the Lord speaking to Brahma, appreciating him following the instruction of Krishna at the beginning of creation. When Brahma rightly chose penance, tapaḥ, after hearing it from the Lord, it signifies many things. One, it signifies that everything starts from saddha. Shabdhe paresha nishnātham. Becoming fixed in devotional service, becoming fixed in transcendence through transcendental sound. As one is fully fixed in transcendental sound of the Vedas, which contain all the absolute truth, culminating in surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So beginning is sound, but then sound alone will not help. Something has to happen after sound. And what is that? Action. With the sound, action has to happen. Following the sound. This is spiritual. So the Brahman, the Lord, has manifested in the form of sound. And he has also manifested himself as incarnation to put it down in writing for the benefit of especially people in Kali Yuga. But otherwise, even if it is not written, Shraddha is there. The written form of Shraddha is very gross. Nowadays we are very used to reading the lectures on the screen rather than hearing the lectures. Slowly the hearing capacity is reducing. Unless it is written, we cannot follow it. But there is a gross form of the sound. It is not necessary for the sound, for the knowledge to exist, because knowledge exists in sound. And knowledge consists of the absolute truth, its nature, its existence, and the process to achieve the absolute truth. Shraddha contains these things. Not only information about the Supreme Lord, but also information how to attain. 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Knowledge of the Supreme Lord and how to attain the Supreme Lord. Both are available in Shraddha. But it does not fructify unless it is followed, unless it is taken to heart. So Brahma took the instruction to heart, tapaḥ. Instead of speculating or weighing his own ability, not ability, what is true, what is not true, what I should do, not getting confused. Without getting confused and bewildered by the darkness by the loneliness, by avidya, ignorance. He took directly to the instruction of tapaḥ and performed austerities. Austerities means performing those things the mind dislikes. Performing those things the mind does not dictate. Two things are there. Either we can lead our life by dictation of the mind, or we can lead our life by sound. Sound which is not produced by our mind. Sound produced from something outside my existence. It has to be outside. So the first physical representation of the sound is the spiritual master. The spiritual master's instruction, when followed, has the same potency as penance. So following the instruction of the spiritual master is penance. Brahma followed the instruction of the Supreme Lord. He is the spiritual master, the Brahma. Directly. So same process continues. There is no change in the process. What Brahma did, we are doing. Brahma must have created the whole universe. We are also creating universe in our own ways, small universe, our desires, our achievements, our manifestation, result of our hard work, and sometimes bad results. Even when Brahma created, the beginning ones were not good. All the pishashas, all the bhutas, right? He created something which will give trouble to himself. So, bad things are also there in the creation. One has to reject that and stick to the sattvic aspect of creation. So in our life, day-to-day life, just like Brahma gets up every day after millennium, and it does the same thing, tapasya and then creation, all over again. The Supreme Lord has created such a way that bhutva praliyate, once a distraction is there, final distraction, that is the Ratri Kale of Brahma, not the small distraction after Kali Yuga, but the final distraction of the end of Brahma's day. At the end of the day of Brahma, the distraction, all the living entities goes down into the body of Vishnu. And at the day of Brahma, all the living entities again created, are released. So Brahma's creation is very important. And our day-to-day life is also important in the sense that they give us daily opportunity for tapasya and daily opportunity to follow the Sabda Brahman and daily opportunity to advance. Brahma also does the same thing. He also has to go back to Godhead. We also have to go back to Godhead. And for 100 years we have to live in this body and create activities which will not bind me. I can create activities which will not bind me only when I follow the instructions of the Sabda Brahman or the instruction of the spiritual master. So when a devotee follows the instruction of the spiritual master, or as the Shastras, which is of course non-different, then we are able to do activities in Sattva Guna and activities which do not bind us. Brahma also can create thinking that he is a doer, becoming proud of all that he is creating, thinking that he is all in all. Same way, we also on a daily basis, we also create our own activities and results of the activities and feel proud, can feel proud, or can offer it to the Supreme Lord. So whether it is individual living entities' daily activities or Brahma's daily activities in different time scales, the purpose is purification. Because only through activities you can purify in this material world. Whether it is physical activity, mental activity, activity has to be there. And activities precede instruction, Shraddha. Activities before activity, desires precede the activities. Shraddha, instruction precede the activities. So activities has to be based upon instruction or based upon a desire. But as long as our desires are not pure, our activities will also not be pure. When our desires are pure, Shabdhe Paresha Nishnartam, when one person is totally absorbed in Shabda Brahman, absorbed in transcendental sound vibration, absorbed in transcendental, then his desire is also pure. Then you can follow your desires without getting bound by the actions which are resultant of the desire. Today our activities are resultant of the desires, but the desires are impure, hence the activities also end up in impurity. The activities end up in binding us, not liberating us. But when we are following the sound of the Shastras, of the spiritual master, or pure desire, then the activities are not binding. When the activities are not binding, then activities become an instrument for liberation. This is all in the material world it happens, irrespective of our positions. Whichever part of the world we are in, whichever part of the universe we are in. So it is so important that we direct our activities based on Sabda Brahman, based on the instruction of the spiritual master, based on the instruction of the Shastras. So if the activities are based on that, then it becomes a vehicle for liberation. Otherwise, tamodvaram, if the activities are based upon rajasic and tamasic, which is lust, anger, all those negative things, then it becomes a vehicle to take us to permanent darkness, which is part of the material world. So the Lord is very happy that Brahma has followed that. And the Lord is instructing him directly here because of that. And the Lord explains, tapas, that is energy when I use. So tapas, that vīryaṁ, that energy which tapas carries, is energy which the Lord is also using. And there is Lord's energy. Hence tapasya, the Lord is in sacrifice. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am situated in sacrifice. Hence you have to do sacrifice. So unless our life is based on sacrifice, there is no Vishnu in it. Vishnu has to be there in our activities. The touch of the Supreme Lord should be there in our activities. And the touch of the Supreme Lord in our activities comes through the instruction of the spiritual master, instruction of the Shastras. So when the instruction of the Shastra and instruction of the spiritual master is followed, we are always in tapasya. We are always doing penance. Because we sometimes think penance means something different from what we do on day-to-day basis. No. It's not different. Daily activities is penance, as long as it is connected to the instruction of the spiritual master, instruction of the Shastras. Because material mind always want to act apart from the instruction of the spiritual master, apart from the instruction of the Shastras, based on the past experience. The past experiences in material world. So all that activities which is pushed by our past activities by the mind will always be material. Hence a stop is given by following the instruction of the spiritual master, by following the instruction of the Shastras. That momentum of following our mind which is matured in this material world, that is why it is called, it has become a coconut. Shastras many times they compare process of liberation with the coconut. Coconut has become, the water in the coconut has been captivated or surrounded by a thick layer of coconut. Now how do you remove that? So you put enough manure in the coconut tree through our kama, moha, desires, activities create this tree stronger and stronger and stronger. Now the coconut tree has grown very big. Now the result is fruit. And the result is a coconut, which slowly forms and captivates the water in it and creates thicker and thicker structure around that. Dab, tender coconut, very tender. Allow it to grow further, becomes hard. Then the pulp becomes very hard. Shell becomes very hard. Fiber becomes very thick. Then it is fully entrapped. Now you pick that coconut and you dry that coconut. You dry in the sun, which can be compared to tapasya. Penance, drying. Gradually what happens? You shake it, you will feel, yes, the kernel is liberated. So today you shake us, the soul is entrapped in the three modes of it, by the three modes of material nature into this gross body, no differentiation between the soul and the gross body. Totally it is one. By the process of drying this coconut, through penance, through tapasya, gradually drying, the soul gets detached. And the drying process is nothing but penance. And penance is nothing but the words of the Shastra and the spiritual master. And we perform the highest kind of penance because we are following the essence of the Shastras. We get dried faster because the process is tīvra. The process is very, very strong. One, because of the purity of the line we are following. The final conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has integrated all the Vaishnava philosophy and given the final conclusion. The final conclusion of Harinam Sankirtan, and through Harinam Sankirtan to get the highest and the original position possible for the living entity, which is Radha Krishna, servant of Radha Krishna. That is absolute truth. To reach that absolute truth, we will start from nursery class, from the Vedas. You have to start from Vedas and end up at Radha Krishna, which is impossible in Kali Yuga. Even in other Yugas, many people have followed the Vedas, they ended up many other places, not at the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. The final, summum bonum, final shelter. So now in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this system, which is directly overstepping the Vedas, overstepping so many things, and directly falling at the lotus feet of Radha Krishna through Harinam Sankirtan. Hence the process is very, very strong, very, very powerful. The coconut is not dried in the sun, rather the coconut is dried inside an oven. When the coconut is dried in the oven, the drying process is faster. There are machines. So the natural process is following 90 days it will take, or 100 days it will take, or at least a month it will take to dry the coconut in the sun. But this coconut, in this sampradaya, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, is dried in an oven, in a furnace. Immediately gets dried. In the sense, immediately the soul is liberated from its subtle and gross bodies. So we do not miss this opportunity. As Prabhupada tells in Purport very, very clearly. Prabhupada has created a house, eat gulab jamun, eat prasadam, chant and dance, joyfully go back to Godhead. But behind that joyfulness, there is the tīvra penance. As Prabhupada very, very clearly saying, the Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, He wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. So we should not lose that point. How painstaking it is. And our point here is it is painstaking. It is not going to be easy. Spiritual life is not going to be easy. Why? Because of our own past. Nobody is coming and stopping us. There is no goons and dacoits or anybody going to come and stop. No, don't chant. Of course, it happens in some countries. At least in this Bharatvarsha, until now it is okay. Future we don't know. Until now, no external force is going to come and stop us. It is only internal force which is coming and stopping us. And Krishna says, whoever is a punya has done enough punya, then he can do faster devotional service. Bhakti will be more determined. His determination will be very strong. But our own, this coconut, creation of this coconut, we have created a coconut fresh, very fresh. There is no difference between the shell and the kernel and the shell. It is very much in union. So our mind, our soul is today in very much union with the past. Subtle body and gross body. Which is a past creation. Who created this? The past action has created it. So action is something which cannot be kept permanent. It can be diluted by action. Hence, of all the things which is eternal, time, and so Supreme Lord, material nature, only action, karma, is temporary. So Krishna has created such a wonderful scientific system of going back to Godhead, using our action. Action is not permanent, action is temporary. But action becomes such an important vehicle, either to go up or to go down. And we are all fortunate as long as we use the action based on the sound. Same thing what Brahma did. Hence there is no difference between what Brahma did then and what we are supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. Follow the instruction of tapaḥ, of penance. Now we have to understand that following the principles given by the spiritual master, the regulative principles, the minimum chanting process, the minimum time required to engage in daily learning of the Shastras, and engage in teaching others about the Shastras, and doing activities to benefit the spiritual master. If we keep our mind within this sphere, we will not feel materially controlled in this material world. Otherwise, we will think, no, this is also a material organization. If we lose the spiritual vision, we will come to the material vision. How do we keep the spiritual vision intact? We can keep the spiritual vision intact by following the instruction of the spiritual master and keeping that as penance. And everything that we do as per his instruction. Every seva that we do becomes an offering to the spiritual master. Well, what does a brahmachari do? Brahmachari supports the spiritual master in his Gurukula. How does the spiritual master in the Gurukula earn his income? Or earn his living? By that is offered by his disciples. So maintaining the desires of the spiritual master, maintaining the institution of the spiritual master, following the instruction of the spiritual master becomes the most important activity of contribution by the disciple to the spiritual master. So no matter what activity we do, we have to understand that there is a spiritual contribution to the spiritual master. With that vision, if you do, whether it is cleaning, whether it is talking, whether it is driving, whether it is cooking, whether it is deity worship, or going out and talking, or going and looking where the energy to build this organization is in the form of fund available to bring it to the spiritual master and satisfy his desire. All these are spiritual activities and penance. They have the quality of penance. Yeah, it will be in the middle of Kali Yuga, in Gurugram, in the midst of all great skyscrapers and modern people and materially active, charged atmosphere with all kind of material amenities. It doesn't matter the surroundings. The spirit is the same. We have to keep that spirit in our mind. And what is the spirit? Going and collecting firewood for the spiritual master. That is tapasā. So this is what Prabhupada is saying, painstaking. Our body will not want to do it, our mind will not want to do it. But if we are able to do that, it shows that we are ready to take the difficulty. Same thing with Brahma. It was not easy for Brahma to follow this tapasya. He could have gone and slept. Then we also like to go and sleep. Right? So, very clearly Prabhupada saying, an easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. Easygoing life. And this is what we fall into, easygoing life. We want an easygoing life. वो very difficult. करना तो बहुत मुश्किल है. So here it is very clear. Prabhupada says, yes, it is mushkil. It is not easy. So why? Because we are going to get the most important fruit of spiritual life, which is associating with transcendence, merging into transcendence, in the sense, quality-wise. Transcendental position is very secure, very safe, very pleasurable, very enjoyable. It's a treasure. Now we cannot get that treasure easily. Right? So many treasure hunters are there. If you want spiritual treasure, then the tapasya is hard. Even material treasure is very difficult. We all know how difficult it is to get something in this material world. Some profit. So brahmachari has to keep this in mind. And if he keeps this in mind, he is a brahmachari. Offering everything to the spiritual master. The same quality, there's no difference between the quality of what Krishna told Brahma and what the spiritual master and sastras tell us today. And the result is the same. Transcendental position for Brahma and transcendental position for us. Same. Hence Krishna Prabhupada said, this is a science. This Krishna consciousness is a science. Because no matter who you are, you follow, then you get it. Brahma, you go over it. So we should feel ourselves very fortunate because we are in such a situation where we don't have to take all the great pains which many people took in the past. Because the process is made very simple because of Kali Yuga. The concession is there. Concession by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, concession by the Gaudiya Acharyas, and the concession by Purport. No more concession is possible, and that is the end of concession. So using that concession, which can follow, we are very fortunate. So we are in a very fortunate position. Rather than blaming the situation and surroundings, we get so many things to blame. And whether we need to sit and blame or whether we need to use it as an opportunity for following. So, there is no easy route. Even for the Lord said, this is my vīryaṁ, this is my potency. And that potency is behind creation, maintenance and destruction. So that potency has to be behind our spiritual success also. We use that potency. And it is available in us. Krishna will not tell us to do something which is difficult. It is available in us, but we will not use it because, why? We are easygoing. Everything has to happen easily. So this is a great instruction from all these different verses in Bhagavatam. We come to know, we take the essence of it and we put it into practice in our daily life and we get benefit. What is the benefit? Benefit is freedom from this material entanglement. A freedom where you feel little liberated. We also feel little liberated. Not that we don't feel liberated. After so many years of chanting, after so many years of sankirtan, so many years of utilizing the body, even though it is a mixture bhakti, even though it is mixed, we have to accept that we are doing mixture bhakti. If you are saying, no, I am doing pure devotion service, then we cannot go on. Understand that we are doing mishra bhakti and try to be pure as possible. So these small beams of spiritual light, transcendental light, which comes in the form of spiritual pleasures. There is a pleasure. We are aware of the pleasure seekers. Like Purport tells, those who are taking pleasure in chanting of the holy name, they have the essence of the Shastras. So we also take pleasure. So it is a question of how much of the material contamination is gone to get this pleasure, to taste this pleasure. The pleasure can be tasted only when the material desires are thin, dissolved. And as it dissolves, proportionately to that extent, we also feel this pleasure. And that is why we exist here, even though it is difficult. That is the opportunity available in this human form of life. So we should be feel very safe, secure and happy that we are in a safe position. Even though there may be so many limitations according to our mind's standards. So without looking at the mind standard, we can convert all the situation as a possible potential penance. Convert those into penance. Penance means do it, even if I feel not wanting to do it. That is penance. So we will stop here. Any questions we can take? 8:45 we need to stop.
Hare Krishna. Like as you mentioned, this one thing I would like to understand is that how this tapaḥ is a potency for the Vishnu. That is one thing. And second thing is as Prabhupada has mentioned in the Purport, it's not easy-going life. Whereas if we see the way that we practice our bhakti, especially in initial stage, it is until and unless it is in comfort zone, it is very difficult to practice. All the things are easily available, we are in comfort zone, then we take up, we practice. So how we can come out of that and take that tapaḥ to progress?
So 2 questions. How tapasya is the potency of the Lord and potency of the Lord? He uses. Not that the Lord has to do tapasya like me. Tapas is a vīryaṁ, is an energy of the Lord. Every energy is energy of the Lord. Right? Parasya shakti vividhaiva shruyate. So all kinds of energies are His. So this energy for doing tapaḥ is His energy. It's not our energy, it's His energy. That shakti to do, to constantly keep doing things, to constantly to follow the shastra, to constantly to follow the spiritual master, and the struggle to keep away the mind, keep away the bad influences. But it's a shakti. That shakti belongs to the Supreme Lord. And that shakti He uses for creation, maintenance, destruction. Not that the Lord has to struggle to create maintenance, destruction. No. That's why Prabhupada very clearly, very smartly he translates tapasā. You see the translation? Tapasā, he says, by the same energy. Not that I had to do tapas. The Lord also likes to do tapas. because he's in Turiya, he's in transcendental. That's on his own potency. So that Shakti, it's a Shakti, it's a very powerful Shakti, which the Lord uses for creation, maintenance and destruction. That Shakti we are using in determination, our determination. Determination is His Shakti. You're using it, but determination didn't come from me. It's a Shakti of the Lord available, I use it. I can use it or I can give it, let it go. So that Shakti is what is not. That's a vīryaṁ, energy. So that's the first one. Second one, what was it? Easygoing. Yeah, that is a misunderstanding. If so many comforts are there, so I took to Krishna consciousness. That's a very wrong. That is the flip side of these modern amenities. It's a flip side. Say just take, we have this youth preaching program, right? We provide all the basics to them, right? Spoon feed them, right? And then finally you draw you take the carpet under him. He gets totally disturbed. It is like sugar coating only. We have to sugar coat, but gradually we should have a mechanism to take him out of that. If you are keeping him in the sugar coated, he will think that till the life end I will be getting sugar coated benefit. Then suddenly when he feels led, then that's why sometimes it's a flip side of our preaching. We have to be very careful to balance it. We have to provide that sugar coating to attract them, but after that they should be taken through a process where they know that I need to flap my own wings. I need to do it. I need to give up. Today it is available, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. When that is not there, I'll stop chanting Hare Krishna. So that mood should not come in the people whom we are providing there, even to us. What is that? You see, this is what happens in the modern age by the growth of the institution and the power of money. Because money is there, you're doing all those things. Money is not there. So money is Krishna's energy. So the energy is there. Small things. And nowadays when we join, there's no question of individual rooms, cot, bunk beds, heater, and nice quilt. No way. We remember sleeping in the temple hall every night for at least 1.5 years. I personally remember. You bring one blanket, so before you had to get up from Bangladesh because you're sleeping in the temple hall anyway. So there's no chance. So money, the power of Prabhupada, the name and fame of Prabhupada is giving us all this. We have to be very careful in using it. We cannot fall slave to those things. If it is not there, finished. One Rathrum and 10 brahmacharis. But all 10 has to attend Mangalati. So that is the situation we all have grown. So, but now we don't feel like that because there is enough room, enough bathroom, blah, 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 blah. But then we are not there for Mangalati. So what's the point? So this is where Maya creeps in. Maya creeps in without knowing, without our knowledge it comes in. So we have to sit back and think, wow, we have to be careful. Use the facility, Prabhupada is giving, you use it, but see that we use it in the best way. Because the facility is there, let me attend 150% Mangalarti, not 100%. That should be the spirit. If that spirit is there, then it won't be exploitation, it won't be a lethargic growth. It will keep that spirit. It will keep the spirit of tapas, it will keep the spirit of brahmacharya alive. Otherwise the spirit of brahmacharya gets dimmed. All the facilities are actually dimming our brahmacharya. Now we have to be careful. But it is needed. I mean, you cannot go out and preach unless you have a car. Not possible. But Prabhupada was preaching in the same city between Delhi and Vrindavan without any car. Without any sweaters and one sweater, two sweater, jacket. Prabhupada was wearing a cloth. So you see, facilities are a problem. If we don't keep the fire of that spirit. So we have to remind. So in one sense there is an extra burden for us. So that use the facility and keep thinking that, Otherwise I become a thief. Public money I'm using. Not our money. I didn't earn money to buy this. So if I don't use it in Krishna consciousness, then I had to take the karma. So this feel good you're getting is also a burden. Rather, no facilities is a good for keeping that spirit. But how many people will come? Right? Since you're providing facility, more people are coming. So it's like a trade-off. But we should not get absorbed in the facilities. So we had to give facility to come, so make them feel comfort zone. But then in the comfort zone, they should know the value of that comfort zone, and they should be able to equally pay back by more tapasya, more service, more for Prabhupada, do bigger things for Prabhupada. When facilities are there, you should do bigger things. Olden days, we couldn't do big things. Of course, when money is not there, we could not do big things. So if things and money and system is there, you should do bigger things. And we are doing it, that's what the spirit is. But individually, we have to keep that spirit alive. Otherwise, it will become easygoing. Then Prabhupada said this will become just hostile. Once in one Nishtaghosh in Bangalore, I told them we should not have this hostile mentality. Some of the new bhaktas got disturbed. We are having hostile mentality. सब कुछ रेडी है, टक 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 करो जाओ, नाचते गाते नाचते गाओ. That will kill brahmacharya spirit. At the same time, we cannot not have it because today that's a requirement. So only thing we can do is that we have to somehow, along with the facilities, along with this comfort, we should also keep this spirit of tapasya alive. How to do that? That is management's task. How to keep both alive. Provide, at the same time keep it alive. Otherwise, Maya creeps. Gradually, preaching will not be there. It will be a mess. Eating mess. Come together. So, as you said, it's a very important point actually. All our preachers, especially those who are preaching to the new people, should know this. We can sugarcoat, but don't spoil them by sugarcoating. But don't kill that spirit of tyaga which has come up with their mind, in their hearts. Sometime in life, tyaga has come in our mind. That's why we join. Suddenly, tyaga by our old past karma, or by the mercy of spiritual master, mostly by the mercy of spiritual master, suddenly a wave of renunciation comes. Suddenly join. But that opportunity doesn't come always in life. And once come and not taken, it can go deep, get dissolved. So when these young boys get that, we have to keep that. So we have to provide and at the same time tell them, teach them that this is there. But you have to start flapping your own wings by taking more tapasya, and only tapasya. Very clearly, how much more clear can Prabhupada be in his purport? So even if Prabhupada is saying, whenever you feel urge of senses, go and take his corn bullet and eat it. But he is saying, don't be easygoing. Both the Prabhupada is saying, he is given bullets also, and he is also telling this. So this information has to be given to them. Very important. Otherwise they will become, in this temple AC is not there, in this temple cot is not there, in this temple car is not there. I cannot do service. How can I do service? That should not come. That should not be killed. It's a big disservice we will be doing to the youngsters if you kill that spirit. Because you cannot go back to Godhead. No question of liberation if they don't surrender to Prabhupada, surrender to the sadhu, shastra and guru. They should surrender to all three. They should surrender to guru, they should surrender to shastra, they should surrender to sadhu also. Because unless they do sadhu seva, there is no question of liberation. Unless you do tīvra bhakti, there is no question of liberation. Principles of Vaishnavism, Gaudiism, we cannot, principles of Bhagavatam, we cannot give. And then no use. It will be a sattvic institution first. Prabhupada did not want this to be a sattvic institution. Prabhupada wants this to be a liberating institution. Okay. Anupama, we had it.
Same thing with the first question what he asked.
Huh.
Lord also does tapasya like that.
Yeah. You feel like that when you read it, but that is not the spirit. That's why Prabhupada is very clearly translating here by the same energy of penance. Prabhupada is not saying by penance. Tapasā means by penance.
First line is little.
sṛjāmi tapasaivedaṁ. That is why the first one only see. sṛjāmi, I create. Tapasā, what is the translation? By the same energy of penance. Prabhupada is not writing by penance. Prabhupada is not saying the Lord is also sitting in penance and doing it. Possible. Narayana Rishi by penance created all the beauties. Possible.
I create this cosmos as penance.
Yes.
So, what Lord wants to say to?
Sorry, which one you are referring to?
The first line itself, I create this.
I create by the same energy of penance.
No, the first line.
Oh, you mean the translation? See, you should read. That's why Prabhupada said, read verse, read word to word meaning, read translation. Then read purport also. We should follow the sequence. When only when you follow the sequence, you will get the spirit of it. Just by translation, you may not get the spirit of it. Prabhupada always tells, why I have done this? Why am I giving word? He can also say simply translation. He is giving word to word meaning to understand the real essence of it. So I create this cosmos by such penances. It's referring to the energy of penances, which Prabhupada has clearly mentioned in the word to word translation.
Yeah, anyway.
But other way also is okay. God also can do penance and he can create something.
Like Narayana.
But his penance is not like our penance. Someone want to come back. Bring the mind back. No. He has no endeavor for tapasya. Tapasya is his natural existence. Is his natural way of existence. For us, tapasya is very alien, very foreign. It's not foreign. His life is tapasya. That's the meaning. In that way, if you take tapasya, it's correct. But you have to understand it both ways.
That's what I thought. Lord's mere will, everything happens. The moment he wills, his execution happens.
Because his existence is tapasya. Now we don't understand what is the meaning of that. Because for us tapasya is a very separate subject to be done with a lot of effort. For him there is no effort.
For Brahma, it will be real tapasya.
Brahma it is real tapasya. He went through everything. So that is why I am saying that whether it is Brahma or we, it's the same. But we have put that energy. Brahma put his energy, so the Lord is pleased. So Lord can be pleased with any of us if we are giving that effort to our ability. If everybody has an ability, Lord only wants, are you using your ability or not? To give up and taking the struggle and work hard for me or not. No question of easygoing in spiritual life. And Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.